I like a lot. Still waiting, still uploading to the channel though. There we go, fantastic. So the stream's up, the chat's up, we're all good to go. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final round, round 22 of the Transnation Esports America's Sunday Championship. It's time for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here at the Yas Marina circuit, a 5.5 kilometer 21 turn racetrack, which in my opinion is the worst circuit designed ever. It's almost... This was supposed to be Herman Tilke's Holy Grail racetrack. This track cost $1 billion. $1 billion. And it was a somewhat literal and metaphorical sandbox for him. He could literally build almost anything he wanted, so long as it was within, you know, FIA regulations. And I cannot fathom the fact that this is the best that he could come up with. I just can't. There is really only two overtaking opportunities on the entire racetrack. One of them is turn 8, that comes after a very long DRS zone that Honda and KD, I believe, are on now. And the other overtaking spot is at turn 11, again after a long DRS zone, into a heavy braking point. The rest of the track pretty much followed the leader sort of stuff. Sector 1 full of high and medium speed corners, and then we got the ridiculous third sector, which is incredibly technical and quite easy to gather warnings at a couple of areas on that racetrack, or at that part of the racetrack, at turns 18 and 20 at the exits in particular. Other than that, there's not really too much to say about this racetrack. We basically have to watch out for 2 points on the entire racetrack, and the rest of it is follow the leader. It's really not much. But alongside me once again for tonight's race is Michael Garone Jr. Michael, again, it's a pleasure to have you alongside me. With the full field that we have here for tonight's race, are you keen for this one here at Yas Marina?
Yeah, still excited for it. Got a lot of mix of reserves, full-timers. Not many championship battles still up for grabs. I think the only one of note would be between Sebi and Dustin. I think Sebi trails Dustin by about 3 points. But yeah, nonetheless, I don't think these guys are going to hold back. I think because there's not much to gain or lose, everybody's just going to be putting it out there and giving it absolutely everything. Maybe not the best track to go to for a finale, but I don't know. I've seen some good races here on the game, at least. Not in real life, but on the game at least. I've seen some solid races, so hopefully we get one tonight.
We hope so, at the very least. I mean, this racetrack in real life is just unbelievably dreadful. But you're quite right. In the game, I have seen one or two pretty decent races, but it's more so of a drama fest rather than pure racing. It's either a crash happens and then there's a massive pile up, there's a safety car that spices things up. If it sort of goes from green to checkered flag with no sort of safety car period in between, from what I've noticed, the field can spread out quite a bit. So typically with this racetrack, in my experience commentating here, it's either a bore fest or a complete and utter drama fest. It's usually one of those two around here, usually. As the current top time is KD with a 1 minute 33.589. It's quite a bit quicker there than his teammate Andrew Honda, the Sunday champion. Now, is Honda, what's his assist situation like?
Yeah, I think he's messing around with no racing line again.
Okay.
I do believe, based off of that time, based off his time trial times on the leaderboard, I'm pretty sure that he's committing to no racing line for next season. something that I planned on doing actually, but
Mhm.
I did a couple of 5-lappers and it's not good.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to transition to, I would imagine. Just ever since I started doing league racing, all the way back at F1 2019, I always ran no racing line. I would only run traction control in ABS. I would force myself to learn the racetrack for my own sake, because I feel as if with the racing line on the track, you sort of get a bit distracted by it. You're not paying attention to what's around you at times. Well, that's my belief anyway, which is why I don't have it on. But it is incredibly difficult because you have to use reference points all over the racetrack as a means for turning in, for braking, finding the right time to start accelerating, all that kind of stuff. But eventually you do get used to it, and once you get into a good rhythm, particularly in a race, it's not too difficult at all. It's what happens when you break that rhythm, or some really cunning race driver decides to take out the braking boards, then it becomes really a lot of fun.
Yeah, I will say, from the perspective of somebody trying to transition, it's corners with brake markers, not too difficult. You just find a brake marker to reference off of, but corners where you don't really have many references, or it's I don't know, just a random sign somewhere, that's a little trickier to... Ooh,
why is that
somebody's retired.
It's Stewart. He has decided to retire from the session, and he is yet to set a qualifying time.
Oh, I know what this is. He... Stewart did say before the race that he wasn't going to qualify, so...
Any particular reason why he wouldn't qualify?
I don't know. I think he just didn't feel like it.
He didn't. Okay then.
I think he was. I think he's more confident in his race pace than his quali pace. And yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Well, he's going to start from 19th at the moment, and Sebastian is on a flying lap as what the...
Oh, he's...
I wonder if he had to do something. Well, I just noticed a few comments pop up on the YouTube chat. Give me a minute. Oh, yeah,
he said he wanted a challenge. Okay.
I mean, right? Well, you better get yourself back into the session. Oh, there you go. Okay. Good luck to you, Stuart, from the back of the field. Hey, as Michael said, there's no championship challenge, so why not? You know, get that driver of the day sort of award for you.
Yeah, that's what he's going for, the driver of the day.
No. I rate that higher than winning the race. I want that driver of the day award, man. I want that award. But now we're just under the 10-minute mark in qualifying. A few drivers have set their first flying laps. KD is still the highest rated driver at the moment with a 133.5. In fact, he's head and shoulders above the field at the moment. He's about almost 6/10 clear of the McLaren in second place.
I think a lot of guys.
Cameron.
Cam.
I've seen that a couple of times in my commentary career. Drivers just go straight ahead at the pit entry. Luckily, he didn't hit the barrier.
Oh man.
I have seen drivers do that. But, still plenty of time left in the session to set a lap time. It's just you can't afford to make too many mistakes on your flying lap and invalidate. The out lap and the in lap are quite long around here. So you do have to be a bit careful. But Sebastian Flores currently in 20th place He's making his way around the third sector underneath the hotel. The most famous parts on the racetrack, or the most noteworthy part of the racetrack. And it's kind of upsetting really when the most noteworthy part of a racing circuit is a building that sits on top of it. That really shouldn't be the case on any sort of racetrack, but it is here in Abu Dhabi. The infrastructure around here is pretty top notch. Can't say the same about the race circuit. Anyway, few drivers just invalidating Raycon, one of them.
Yeah, there's a few guys really struggling to get laps in. Cam is one of them. Only 7 minutes left, he still hasn't gotten a lap in. Sebi has finally put in a valid lap, so should have time for one more. Patrick is still not put in a lap. Raid, as you said, just invalidated. We got Highway on an out lap.
Got PJB King currently on a flyer as well, making his way underneath the hotel. You'll come around the final two corners. You have to be very, very careful at the exit of turn 20, this corner right here. Super easy to get an invalidation running wide there. And if you do invalidate there, I think it invalidates your next lap as well, if I'm not mistaken. So you can't afford to do that on an out lap either. But,
oh, Ethan.
133.3. So drivers now setting a bit more competitive lap times with 6.5 minutes left in the session. Highway on a flying lap, coming through the beginning of the second sector around turn 7. The worst hairpin in existence, in my opinion. That is, I cannot get that hairpin right. Mostly because I can't take it the same way every time I go around the racetrack. I either miss it by a little bit or get on the throttle too early and the back end steps out. Oh, every time I go through there, I absolutely hate it. Through turns 8 and 9, I have to get a good exit out of 9, maximise the top speed through turn 10 and onto the long straightaway just before turn 11. There's a Williams off the racetrack as well. Is that KD? No, it's Honda just off the racetrack. Through the chicane into turn 14. Now this is where you follow the marina and see the incredibly expensive yachts that nobody can purchase, and then towards the tightest 90-degree corner in existence, turn 17, turn 18, then 19. You have to be careful of 19. I've seen a couple of drivers have a meet and greet with the Armco barrier on the outside a few times in my commentating career. You do have to be a bit careful. Around turn 21, gets the power down, crosses the line 136.4, puts him 13th overall at the moment. Cameron on a flyer, he's making his way around the third sector as well, heading towards the hotel. Some yellow flags about, probably just some slow cars just giving way to faster traffic. Around the final two corners he goes, turn 20, using all of the curve that he can, but misses the apex of turn 21. 134.5, just in front of his Renault teammate Bowtie.
Looks like he's struggling quite a bit tonight. I don't even think that's going to be his last attempt, I do believe. I don't think he'll get back in time.
Yeah, it's a very long out lap and in lap around here, so he might not. Just needs to hurry up just a little bit. But I talk about how horrible this track is in real life. In the game, I actually don't mind the track too much driving around it. I'm actually not too bad around here. You share that same sort of feeling for this sort of racetrack? What's your views of this Yas Marina circuit?
Yeah, I really last year's game, really all the other F1 games, I never really enjoyed this track. But for some reason on this game, something clicks for me here, and I'm really, really liking the feel going into tomorrow.
Okay.
And in a little championship battle. Yeah, I raced in D&E here earlier this season, and really, really liked my pace there. So when I did set up for practice this week, kind of was able to just pick everything up and felt good right away. So yeah, the track does feel very good. The third sector specifically, I think it's one of those tracks where if you know what you're doing and you know how to hook up a good lap, it feels very good. But if you are struggling and you don't really know exactly what lines to take, where to brake, you know, what curbs to use, what curbs not to use, then you're probably not going to like the circuit very much. But if you get into a good rhythm, it's a track that's good fun to drive.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I never really had a terrible result around here. I just always seem to have a solid sort of race. And yeah, there's something about the flow in the game that I just sort of enjoy about it. As much as this track is horrid in real life, in the game I actually somewhat enjoy it. For some reason. But now it's 1 and a bit, a minute and 45 seconds left in the session. Drivers will be on their final outlap. Sebastian now in 8th place.
It was P8.
Only 1.5 seconds behind our new current pole sitter, KD. 1 minute 33.1, and he's back into the pit, so his qualifying is done. And then there we go, he's retired from the session. So we got Chargers, Assassin. Oh my goodness gracious me. How do you come up with something like that? Andrew Honda. One of the Ferraris on the outlap. Pushing a little bit. Only 1 minute left in the session, so we do have to hurry. As Matthew, yeah, you're not going to be able to set another flying lap. He's sitting out in the runoff area just before turn 5. So I wonder what his plan is. Is he trying to give a toad to somebody or what? I'm not completely sure. Anyway,
I'm not sure. I think he realized that he's not going to get back around.
That's it. Currently, Assassin, the first of the top drivers in this qualifying session on a flying lap. Around turn 7 and down the long back straightaway that leads into turn 8. Justin LaPro just retired from the session. He's in 14th place, a fair way down the leaderboard. Into the braking zone, into turn 8, second gear, short shifts to third. Now through turn 10, opens DRS, and he's heading towards the end of sector 2. And that's the end of qualifying there, so these are the final flying laps for these guys. And he's only equaled his time. What about Ethan? He's up by 3/10 of a second. We'll just see what Honda is going to do. He's in the final sector around the final 2 corners, pushing to the limits of the racetrack, round the final corner and up towards the line. He does a 1 minute 33.4, jumps to third. Assassin basically equal in the first sector and equal to the second sector to his current personal best, but improves by 2.5 tenths. Let's see what Ethan can do. He jumps to pole.
To the top.
1 minute 32.920. Into the 32s he goes. A fine lap time there. He takes pole. Can anyone else challenge that? Cameron has invalidated. Flask in the Red Bull. Crossing the line. Improves by 2/10. Jumps to 9th. And I believe that's everyone done and dusted with qualifying, and it's Ethan Lossing on pole position. A very fine lap time there. Beating KD by just over 2.5 tenths of a second. Very, very fine lap time indeed. The only driver in the 32s here at Yas Marina. We'll just be waiting on Cameron to retire from the session, and then we'll get the race underway. Now, all of these guys in the top 10 will be starting on the soft compound tyre. I didn't see anyone qualify really on the medium compound. What do you think will be the strategy for tonight's race at Yas Marina? I know it's a two-stop, but which two-stop will these guys be going for?
Ooh, I think you'll see a lot of soft, medium, or soft, medium, soft, whichever variation they prefer. I think if you can't manage the tire wear, you could do soft, medium, medium. Soft hard does work as well, but compromises you towards the end of the race. You don't have a lot of pace compared to the guys around you, so that strategy requires good track position. As far as outside the top 10, I think you'll see a fair few start on the mediums and just decide what they want to do from there. They could one stop from medium to soft if they really wanted to. But yeah, we'll just have to see. I think we'll see some good variation though.
And of course, if there's a safety car at any stage, everything we're saying pretty much goes completely out the window.
Yeah, pretty much.
And with the full field, we might just see one. So we'll see how it goes. So drivers will be deciding what kind of strategy to go with. As Michael said, for the top 10, it's most likely a two-stop strategy, either with a soft, medium, soft, or a soft, soft, medium. So a soft, medium, medium not really in the equation?
Yeah, like I said, if you can't manage the two soft stints, you could do two mediums. What I will say is the undercut is very strong here, so if you do want to pit that couple laps earlier, towards the beginning of the race, you could do that and do two mediums. I think the softs are very quick the first few laps, and then they do die out quite a bit. Mediums are a decent tire, but they just don't fall off quite as much as the softs, so I guess it'll just go down to driver preference. We'll get the tires up here, so yeah, quite a bit of variety.
Yeah, 5 drivers on the medium compound. Those being Christopher in 13th, Justin LaPrade in 14th, Highway in 15th, PJB in 18th, and Ray Con in 19th place, deciding to start on the medium compound. No one choosing the hard compound for very good reason. It's not it's a bit of a nowhere tire really, the hard. It's just, yeah, just nowhere really compared to the soft and the medium tire around here. The top 12 drivers: Ethan Lossing, KD, Passassin, Honda, Iceman, Matthew Elia, Cameron, Sebastian Flores, Flask, Bowtie Die, Rob Hadley and Dustin Howe. All of them will be starting on the soft compound tyre, trying to make up a bit of track position, hopefully try and fight towards the front of the field, particularly Rob and Dustin on fresher soft compound tyres compared to the rest of the top 10. And we got Black Raiders in 16th, Marino in 17th, and at the back of the field, Stuart Leslie will be starting on the soft compound tyre. He's planning to take the initiative, get a better start than the medium runners, make up a lot of positions early on when the field is nice and close together. We'll see how his race pans out, his point of view. The leaders are now making their way round back onto the grid, and we'll get the 28th laps of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix underway. So, just be waiting on Mr. Stewart. Line up into his spot. And it's time to begin the season finale. Here we go. Everyone ready to go. We have 5 red lights. And it's lights out. And away we go. And it seems that KD has gotten a fairly good start here. He has the inside line into turn 1. And will take the lead. Almost 3 wide between P2 down to P4. Contact between the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri there. As the Red Bull goes, AlphaTauri rather, goes spinning out into the Armco barrier. That was Matthew Elliott. Sector 1 yellow flags. That appears to be the only major incident on the first lap so far. Everyone's gone through the first sector relatively okay, but that is so unfortunate for Matthew. I believe that was a Red Bull that hit him and sent him into the barrier. I'm not sure which Red Bull it was though. But dearie me. Look at that field, scrambling all over the racetrack, trying to make up as many positions as they can. Christopher down the inside into turn 8, forces the issue, around the outside of turn 9. He can't hold P8. Oh, he still has a presence there. Rob just opening up the road a little bit, giving him a bit of space. Look at this midfield, they're absolutely scrambling all over the race. Oh, dearie me. Justin almost goes into the back of Dustin Howe just then, side by side between the Haas and Mercedes there. I believe that was Braden Stewart. But dearie me, these fellas aren't mucking around. They're trying to make as many positions as they humanly can.
Oh, and Rob and Christopher going. Oh, Sebi tries a move.
Yeah,
they're getting a little eager towards the back here.
A bit of biffing and banging. As KD has completed the first lap here at Abu Dhabi. After a very, very good start off the line, he leads with Ethan Lossing in second, Andrew Honda in third, Passassin in fourth, Iceman in 5th, Cameron in 6th place, and we have a timing glitch with Cameron. He's apparently 1 minute and 39 seconds ahead of the field, according to that leaderboard. Flask is in 7th, Rob Hadley in 8th, Christopher now in 8th. Wait a minute, what's happened to Rob? He has spun just before the hairpin. That's an awkward place to spin.
Oh, he's going to go all the way to the back of the field.
Perhaps there was contact with someone that camera angle just didn't show us. Highway went into the pits, so did Matthew. I didn't see what happened with Highway, but we saw what happened to Matthew. Absolutely got shafted into a Armco barrier on the inside of turn 1. Meanwhile, our leaders are coming there, coming through the third sector. KD still leading, 0.6 of a second separating him to Ethan. Next lap around we will get DRS, so this will spice this battle up a little bit. No obvious battles as of yet. No side-by-side action, everyone's just sort of behaving themselves now. They got the... Oh, give me a minute, as Sebastian Flores sends it down the inside.
Yeah, pretty...
Oh, it's Justin.
Pretty opportunistic.
A very opportunistic move from Justin there as well at turn 20 as DRS is now enabled. Hopefully the leaderboard will fix itself here, and it appears like it has, finally. This midfield battle, this midfield train of about 7 cars making their way through the first sector. And just in front of that we have the leaders. Now Ethan will have DRS and he is gaining on KD as Ray Kong gets a 3-second time penalty, the first for tonight's race. I imagine we're going to see a few more of those in this race as Ethan just gaining a little bit of time on KD. Knowing KD, I won't turn the camera to him just yet. I'll just make a prediction that he'll be fairly low on ERS. Oh, actually, it's a bit more than I thought he would have, not going to lie. That's a warning, for sure. Without any shadow of doubt. And Sector 2 yellow flags, that is Black Raiders. He has had a moment. Oh, don't crash into the barrier.
Did he almost lose it getting him back?
Bowtie has spun out.
Peter Pan.
And he's stuck in neutral. And that is a
And he gets out
Ferrari
of the way
front
just in
end
time.
plate there. That is a Ferrari end plate. And that is a bit of Renault front wing, so he has front wing damage.
Oh, I believe that end plate came from Patrick, PJB King.
Yeah, he's got an end plate missing on his Ferrari. Will he box? He will box to get it repaired. Or don't overshoot. He does overshoot. Almost hits the tyre barrier, dearie me. People really do need to be careful of that pit entry. They always go in just a little bit too quick, or they don't compensate for the damage and the lack of turn-in. They almost go straight into the tyre barrier. Now Ethan, closing in on the gearbox of KD. Won't go for a move quite just yet. Oh, but makes contact with KD there. So Ethan able to carry way more corner speed there. That was in no way, shape or form intentional. And now Honda is very much in this fight as well. Natalia showing his pace, setting the new fastest lap with a 38.1. 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings there for PJB. Now through the third sector, these guys pretty much just have to follow KD through here. Not too many opportunities as Ray gets his second penalty of tonight. That's 6 seconds now next to his name in only a matter of 4 laps as well. Very, very quickly gathering warnings there. But KD will cross the line to begin lap 5. In this three-way battle for the lead is very much on. Elsewhere, Dustin and Christopher seem to be having a scrap. Dustin making a move on the Alfa Romeo. He's now into the top 10 overall. And there's set to 3 yellow flags. That is a Alpha Tauri just using a bit of the track limits there. I think that was Rob Hadley. Just exploring the chicane at turns 12 and 13. As Ethan Lossing is now properly on the back of KD here. Gaining and gaining and gaining. Doesn't use any ERS though. Shows his nose but doesn't go for any sort of move. You can see in the wing mirrors there is Andrew Honda just in behind. Opens DRS again. Uses overtake this time. Keeps the overtake on. He wants to go for this but he has to go the long way. KD defends the inside line into turn 11. They're still side by side. Contact maybe, or sideways there for Ethan. Massively sideways. Ooh, just before turn 12.
Yeah, Kyle really didn't want to give that up there. I thought he was going to continue to go side by side with him through his next couple of corners, but he will have the opportunity to strike back. Oh, is Rob?
He has made the same mistake that he did. Yeah, the same mistake that he did before. I wonder if he's not using traction control for tonight's race, or if this is the first time he's not used traction control, because it's a very oh, it's KD's in. So, soft medium strategy perhaps if he's pitting this early.
Yeah, that could be.
Have a look.
He's gonna gain a ton of time right here though on the other two leaders, so they're gonna have to react to it right away.
That's a very, very odd accident, and I'm surprised that there's no safety car of any description for that. Which will no legitimate safety car. I'm very, very surprised. There was in fact no safety car for the debris that was sitting on the middle of the racetrack at the chicane at turns 12 and 13. So typical Codemaster things here, as Justin is having a battle with Flask here, and Sebastian Flores is just in behind watching the show. George made a move on Christopher. His next target is Dustin Howe, and he's already in the top 10 after 6 laps, so his charge has been pretty good thus far through the field, as Justin now gets a 3-second time penalty. Side by side. Oh wow, KD around the outside at turn 11. That was a pretty good move, but he misses the apex of 13. and lets Christopher back past. But he's now right on the back of the Alfa Romeo, heading around the Marina. The next heavy braking zone is into turn 17, and he gets him around the outside. And I think Christopher sort of let off the throttle a bit there, just to let the Williams by. Didn't want to battle too hard there. And Ethan and Possession are now
in, but Honda's not.
So clearly Honda's got a strategy and is wanting to stick with it, as we had a bit of a lag spike there, because the McLaren's sitting in his pit box for a bit too long.
Iceman! Ooh, on the exit of turn 3.
And virtual safety car for
rejoin.
that. So there we go, virtual is out, and that will help the likes of... Whoa, hang on a minute. I thought I saw someone off the racetrack. That will help the like of Flax and Stewart out quite a bit here with this virtual. They don't take anywhere near as much of a time deficit going through the pit lane when the virtual safety car is out. You do have to be incredibly careful though that you don't speed and get a drive-through penalty. Pretty much ruin anyone's race if you do that. And then you got this train. You have to be very, very careful, particularly here, because the delta will shrink so much through the corners, particularly these tight ones. Excuse me. So you do have to be quite careful. I'm keeping an eye on these guys because I reckon we just might see a drive-through, depending when the safety car, virtual safety car, decides to go away. There we go, Dustin Howe.
Ooh, Dustin.
I thought there'd be one, and I think there might be more than one, to be honest. As Iceman trying to make his way through the third sector with that damaged front wing. So there we go, drive-through for two drivers actually. Dustin's one of them, the other one is PJB. Patrick in 16th place, he's got a drive-through penalty as well. As Honda and Cameron are now into the pits. Onto a soft compound for Honda. What about Cameron? Mediums for the Renault driver. The way he goes. So that makes Justin Laprade our new leader. Sebi in second. Is off that great con as KD is out.
KD is a massive crash.
Let's see here. Flask will be
the exit of turn 1.
Unbelievable. That is a massive moment there. Safety car deployed. Safety car has been deployed on lap 8 of 28. There we go. That changes the scope of this race massively. But what an interesting incident. Just perhaps arcs too much of the car, went onto the curb and just spun it into the barrier on the inside. He was by himself, I believe. I don't think he was near anyone. So
I don't believe there's another car near him. So yeah, I know that turn 1 exit does get tricky. You grab just a little bit too much of that exit curb, it will unsettle the car. So perhaps what happens now, oh man, what are these top two going to do? I mean, they're going to have to pit.
I think
at
they
least
should.
Sebastian.
Well, Sebi should, 100% should. But Justin, yeah, he's sort of in a bit of a pickle here. What does he do? Does he get off those medium tyres, put on a set of softs? He decides to stay out.
No, he decides
to
pit.
He come in. That must have been a late call. From the camera angle I was looking at, he was staying out, but no, he's coming in. Okay, so what does he do? What kind of tyre is sitting there? It's a medium compound. It's going on to another set of mediums. So he'll be planning to carry these for some distance, till maybe about lap 18, lap 19, lap 20, and probably put on the soft tyre to go to the end. There's Ethan, he's now our new race leader. Honda just in behind on those soft tyres, so he'll be aiming to get a very good restart, get by Ethan, try and really maximise the soft stint. Whereas Ethan, he'll also be trying to get a good restart to try and keep Honda behind for as long as possible. Yeah, very interesting scenario here.
And even Stewart's come in for another set of softs.
I guess he wasn't going to lose any track position by doing so.
And he didn't qualify, so he's got all the softs available to him.
Exactly right.
And he did have the mediums on for a lap right there, so with 19, we'll have somewhere around 17 laps to go to the end. He could just do 2 soft stints.
Let's have a look. Where is he? There he is. There you can see there, ladies and gentlemen. Soft, medium, soft. He's done at the moment, according to the race director. So he's met the mandatory compound requirement. So he can go softs to the end of the race. Now, I'm not sure what some of these medium runners are going to plan. Whether they're going to try and stretch these to the end. Is that even possible, Michael, from this race?
I don't think you'd be able to do 18 laps. I really don't believe you'd be able to do that. Even doing more than 15, 16 would be a huge stretch. So I think we'll see a lot of these guys, if they do have a set of softs available, they'll stretch this medium to about lap 20, 21 and do a set of softs. But if they don't, they could just take these, I guess do another set of mediums and just split this half of the race, well not this half of the race, but this portion of the race in half.
This would be very, very interesting to see how these strategies all pan out. Honda is, excuse me, Honda is definitely doing another stop. He hasn't met the mandatory compound requirement yet, so he is 100% without doubt doing another stop in this race. Got a couple of drivers on the hard tyre as well, Highway and Bowtie on the hard compound, so they'll be trying to go to the end of the race, which they should, but they'll be pretty much nowhere. Those hard tyres are significantly slower than the medium compound around here, so it's going to be a hard race for those fellas. Try and keep up with the pack, but hey ho, you never know, anything could happen. And for Stewart, he's just going to push as hard as he humanly can, really. He's now given himself a license to go as fast as he wants. He can't carry those tyres 18 laps, we know that, that's 100% without any shadow of doubt. So he just has to push as hard as he can, probably do 9 lap stints, probably 2 9-lap stints as the safety car is now in. So
yes, it is. We also got to remember that now. Matt was probably happy to see that safety car.
Absolutely.
He's kind of back in the game now. He is.
He almost took himself out of it. Jeez,
yeah.
Christ.
He doesn't have the track position, but he does have the. He's on the same strategy as pretty much everybody as of right now. So if he could make some quick work of a couple of drivers, he could get himself back into the game here.
Absolutely. And we never know, there might be another safety car that will spice everything up as well. So we just have to wait and see. The safety car making its way back to the pits, and we'll get this race back underway. Ethan will decide when to go, and he decides to go now. So around the final corner he'll go. He'll begin lap 11 of 28 here at Yas Marina. Not a bad restart. It's a very difficult place to really capitalise on a safety car restart. You really have to try and back the field up massively in order to get any sort of benefit from a safety car restart, but he's done alright. He's got half a second over Honda. He needs to try and defend Honda for as long as he can. Be for his benefit to do so. The rest of the field, everyone's sort of behaving themselves. No one going for anything silly from the looks of things. Stewart, though, I imagine might be sending it on Dustin. Iceman is on the back of Christopher as well. Dustin, well, not really defending there, sort of gesturing to defend, but there goes Stewart down the inside. And he should get Dustin here. Oh, maybe not though. Dustin very confident on the brakes, and he gets back the position. A very fine move there from Dustin, but Stewart turns the wick up a little bit and slingshots by the Red Bull. Meanwhile, Christopher and Iceman are side by side into turn 11, and Iceman gets P8. Dustin doesn't counter-attack either, so with the restart shenanigans, it appears out of the way. Underneath the hotel goes Sebastian Flores. This is the next closest battle, it appears. Matthew is also right in behind Black Raiders at the moment, so he'll be looking to make up as many positions as he can. But Easton setting a new fastest lap time, 1 minute 37.3 for him, leading the way, and he's quicker than Honda on this restart lap as well. Very nice thing for him to see.
Yeah, that's very interesting. It's not like Ethan wasted all of his ERS on that lap either, so
perhaps
Ethan's
Honda didn't get his tires up to temperature on the restart.
Yeah, it could be the case. Overall, it does look like Ethan's got a really good setup underneath him, and he's looking really comfortable so far tonight. Now that I said it, I might have just commentators cursed him, but yeah, so far so good for Ethan.
Ooh, dearie me. We have a bit of a battle going on for 5th. Justin, the Prod, Flask, and Sebi. Sebi almost went into the back of Flask at just before turn 9. Oh, side by side into turn 11. Here comes Flores. He saw an opportunity, went for it, but unfortunately couldn't really capitalize on it. He still is in 7th place, and now he has Iceman closing in on him. We might just see a four-way fight here. There is the Ferrari, and there's Christopher and Stuart Leslie just in the background as well, as Iceman now gets a 3-second time penalty. But Iceman, he is all over Sebastian at the moment as DRS is enabled. Does he go for it here? No, he doesn't. At the moment, playing a bit more of a sensible game. Into turn 1. Basically, follow the leader. Not too many overtaking opportunities here. And Ethan is actually pulling away from Honda at the moment. The gap is almost 1 second between the top two. That is a very interesting sight. But here we go. What's this four-way fight going to give us as they head towards turn 8? Well, we have a bit of weaving in the background. Christopher's trying to break the toe down the inside. Slacks, he shows he knows, but he doesn't go for the move. Neither does Stuart Leslie. He was weaving left and right to try and stay within the toe of the Alfa Romeo.
Looks like Justin really struggled on exit right there, and Flask was able to just drive right by him before DRS was even opened.
As Stewart has now made a move for 9th. His next target will be Iceman. It's very, very interesting to see though that Honda hasn't really made any sort of advance on Ethan here. Even with the DRS enabled.
He's still hanging around though. Oh, we got a yellow flag in the 3rd sector. That's Justin.
And virtual safety car deployed. And this has saved Justin's bacon a little bit, because I'm pretty sure I saw wing damage.
Oh, his whole wing's gone. He's got none of it left.
So in he comes. Now what will he do with 15 laps to go? Hard. He'll be planning to go to the end of the race on this compound.
Ooh.
As Black Raiders
and
gets a drive through. Deary me. So that's now drive-through penalty number 3 that we've seen tonight. Drivers just not managing the delta very well. Justin Pro gets another 3-second time penalty. He's now down in 17th place, effectively last. As Sebi is now all over the back of Flask here. Wasn't really able to make a move as he gets a 3-second time penalty in the process.
Penalty.
Very easy to do, particularly at turn 12. The corner sort of tempts you to cut absolutely everything and you get drawn to it. Turn in just that little bit too early, have all 4 wheels over the white line, then boom. Instant warning. Highway's got Bowtie on the back of him as well. The 2 hard runners are currently fighting for 12th place as Highway gets a 3-second time penalty. Go back to this, shall we? It's closest battle on circuit at the moment. Battle for 5th. Again, Andrew hasn't really made too many inroads on Ethan at this stage, at the top of the table, top of the leaderboard. Sector 3, as Justin's out, he's crashed. At the,
I think that's the same spot and another safety car.
There we go.
I believe that's the same spot that he had.
That is the same spot where he crashed earlier. Yeah. So again, having a moment just after the hotel, and the safety car has been deployed. Now, this poses a very interesting question. Mediums should make it to the end of the race, shouldn't they?
Yeah, I think everybody's gonna have to throw on.
Yeah, is there anyone who isn't going to pit? I think everyone should. There is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't pit.
Yeah, if you're gonna be the only 1 or 2 that doesn't, then you're just gonna get caught out very badly. So,
well, have a look.
I think we'll see most everybody pit.
So Ethan, our race leader, what does he do? On the medium compound, and he darts into the pits. So does Honda. Same with Assassin, same with Cameron. Let's see what Ethan's going to go on to here. The Racing Point. I see the mediums out for the McLaren, and mediums as well. Soft tyres for Ethan. What about Honda? Mediums. He has to. He has no choice. He's only done 2 soft stints so far, so he has to go onto the medium compound. Cameron on the mediums. Sebi on the mediums. Iceman as well. He comes out behind Sebi. Flask is on the mediums as well. Christopher on the soft compound. Same with Matthew earlier. I guess with them being a bit lower down, they have a bit less to lose by doing something like this. Might as well go for it. Black Raiders also onto the soft compound tyre. Away he goes. And I believe a couple of drivers have stayed out. Bowtie or Die has stayed out. PJB has decided to stay out. Same with Marino. No, sorry, he's still in the pit lane. He's getting his tyres changed. Onto another set of medium compound tyres to go to the end. So there we go.
Ethan's potentially made a big mistake here. He's asking quite a lot out of those tires.
We'll see how it works.
Yeah, I think he'll have an advantage early on, but if he doesn't make the most of that advantage, he's gonna.
Well,
as trouble with Honda.
Like, Ethan demonstrated that even the medium tyre can keep up with the soft compound. We saw that in that brief stint between safety cars. So if Honda can get that same sort of pace that Ethan was getting, then Ethan shouldn't pull away too much at the start. But if Honda can't find that pace, then Ethan should pull away. But how much will that gap close towards the end of the race with those wearing soft compound tyres? I mean, it's going to be a stretch, but we have to also remember we will be doing a few laps on the safety car. I don't think we'll be going back on the green flag racing until about lap 18. So that reduces the load down to about 11 laps that they have to do on the soft compound. And it should be doable, but is it the competitive thing to do? Is it the right thing to do in this sort of situation? Well, I guess we'll have to find out. And how much does he weave? Because if he weaves too much at this stage, he increases the amount of wear on his tyre. I reckon he does have to be a bit cautious under this safety car period as Bowtie is in and onto a set of softs. So he's decided to wait an extra lap, and he's put on a fresh set of boots. He'll come out at the back of the field, but on fresh rubber he should be able to put the hammer down. I'm very, very interested to see.
He's gonna. I think every little bit of wear is gonna matter right here. So he's I mean, he's weaving away right now. You got to get the tires up to temp. I'd rather have a little extra wear than start on cold tires, but yeah, I think this is. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see.
And from the looks of things, it should be about a 10 or 11 lap dash to the flag, unless we have another safety car period, as the safety car is now in this lap. So we got a couple of strategies here we have to look out for. Some drivers on the soft tyre, them being Ethan, Christopher in 9th, Matthew Elliott in 13th place, Black Raiders and Bowtie in 14th and 16th respectively. Got one driver on a set of hards, being Highway, one driver on a set of old mediums, that being PJB. We'll see how this race pans out, shall we? Safety car taking its time, getting back into the pits. Drivers all ready to go.
Ethan's pretty close to that safety car.
Yeah, it won't be a great restart for Ethan here. Round the final corner, we now begin lap 18 of 28. Here's Jats Marina. The sprint to the flag. Through the first sector they go. Marino has lost a couple of positions already. Sebi has lost a few positions as well. In fact, he has damage. He has damage. Flores has damage on the front left-hand side of his front wing. I was going to mention, at that safety car restart, he was actually 3rd place with the adjusted standings. Once you take all the reserves out, he was actually sitting in 3rd. It has been taken away from him here.
He's going to have to pit now. He has no other option.
And that promotes Stuart Leslie up into the podium places with the adjusted standings.
Patrick misses the chicane. Dustin take advantage.
Here comes Dustin. That Ferrari has some straight line speed though, my word. Pulled away from the Red Bull down the straight. As Matthew Elliott making his way past Sebastian. You'll have to pit and get that chain, probably put on a set of stops. Go to the end, pray for a safety car. Oh, the traffic behind him have to be very, very careful as Passassin gets a 3-second time penalty. His first penalty for tonight. Oh, as what's happened here, I just noticed yellow flags, it's Black Raiders. That's a very different place to have an accident. Right on the inside of turn 18 there. Has he got damage? No, he doesn't. But he's going to box anyway. Sebi in, he'll get that front wing changed. You go onto the soft compound tyre. Now, battles on for 8th place. PJB has actually done a pretty decent job to stay inside the top 10 on his older medium compound tyres, but eventually they'll hit a point. Oh, virtual safety car. And Stuart Leslie's out. He's out. A big crash there. That should be a safety car, but it isn't. It's a virtual. He has had a massive moment at the exit of turn 9, and he is out. Quite an unbelievable bit of circumstance there. So Stewart took 3rd place after Sebastian had his accident just a lap prior. With him out, that means, as PJB gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under virtual safety car. That means this man, Christopher, now with the adjusted standings, is in 3rd. Dustin Howe in 4th, Matty Elliott in 5th. There goes PJB into the pits to serve his drive-through.
Matt's going to strike immediately. So Matt up to effective P4 after the adjustment.
So his next target will be Christopher. Gap is 3.4 seconds. Can he close the gap? Can he get that pony in place? Well, Christopher has got a penalty next to his name. 3 seconds, in fact. All that Matthew needs to do is gain half a second, and he's in 3rd place. That's it. Matthew himself doesn't get a penalty. Meanwhile, Honda is showing the same form that Ethan was showing just before the safety car, second safety car period. 10-second time penalty for Flash.
What is he doing?
He's completely off the racetrack. He must have had a moment.
He's just rolling around. What is he doing?
Well, he has to be careful he doesn't go too quickly with his torch tyres. He's probably just being very, very gentle at the moment. There we go, he gets back up to full throttle, almost full throttle. But he left the pit lane, as you can see, he's on fresh rubber. Now he's backing off again. I'm not sure what he's up to, but yeah. Just had a moment coming out of the pit lane, it would seem. But as I was saying, Andrew is keeping up with Ethan. So those soft tyres haven't done the business quite just yet. He hasn't been able to pull away from Andrew. Andrew's been keeping him honest with those medium compound tyres. He's now right in behind, properly in behind now. I don't think he'll go for a move quite just yet. He can play a bit of a patient game here, try and save up a bit of ERS if he can. And astonishingly, this is now the only battle of note. Really, everyone started to spread out quite a bit. There's a Flash going into the pit lane, it would seem. And proceeds to retire from the race. That makes it retirement number 7 in this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We now only have 13 drivers left in this race. Now the start of lap 22. 7 laps to go. Honda is very much keeping Ethan honest here. Gap is only 0.6 of a second. Through the first sector, Honda actually closes in on Ethan a little bit. Through this tight chicane and into the hairpin, the gap opens up, those soft tyres providing better mechanical grip, allowing him to pull away. But that DRS that Honda gets here allows him to close up massively. In fact, Ethan goes defensive here. Moves to the inside just to try and break the toe, and that gap closes to within 0.2 of a second into turn 8, then through turn 9. Both drivers trying to get a good exit out of here. Both of them do. Opens DRS, sector 1, yellow flags, that is Sebi.
It's Sebi.
He's done what KD did. Few laps prior, a moment at turn 1. Luckily for him, he's still in this race and can still score points with the adjusted leaderboard, so he should finish this race. Even though he's kind of in the middle of nowhere, he should finish.
So we're pretty much learning that the softs are not very good around here. And that the mediums are just the better race tire. I mean, Ethan and Andrew, I'd say, quite similar on pace so far today when they've been on the same strategy. But when you go and switch around the tire in either favor, the mediums has always had that upper hand. So
it is a bit interesting to see. Not going to lie, and it's not like these two are just head and shoulders above the rest. Possession in third place. He's only 1.3 seconds behind the two in front, and he doesn't have DRS. In saying that, he has spent a fair amount of ERS. He's only on 5% right now, so he has used a fair amount, but he's keeping up with the top two. Cameron isn't too far behind either in fourth place. So, no, those soft tyres, they're not head and shoulders above the mediums in the early phases, at least at this stage of the race. I think at the start of the race, the soft tyre was the better tyre, as what's happened here. It's Christopher, he's had a moment. And the tyre's on track.
As soon as Matt got to the back of him, there's no contact there, but he dropped it as soon as Matt got there. I thought we were going to see a little bit of a battle there, but
no. But there we go. Retires from the race himself, so there's bound to be an investigation in regards to that. But there we go. We're now down to 12 cars in this race with 5 laps to go. Ethan is still our leader. 0.3 of a second separate the top two, and now those soft tyres will be starting to feel a little bit of wear. So I think now Honda should really have the upper hand. See what he can do. He has DRS. He has a bit of ERS as well. Ethan has less, almost half as much as what Honda's got at this stage. Williams is gaining. He's not close enough though to go for a move into turn 8. So he'll just stay in behind the racing point through 9. Try and get a good exit, which he does. Ethan gets a better one though. Opens DRS again. Doesn't use any overtake, so he's planning to overtake him later in the race. Probably with only a couple of laps to go, maybe 1 or 2 laps to go, he might go for a move. Because right now, Ethan isn't pulling away from Honda, so there's no reason for Honda to sort of just go for a move right here, right now. He can play a longer game, can really set up the overtake well and leave Ethan completely powerless, as Persassin gets a 3-second time penalty. That makes it 6, I believe, yes. So he's now vulnerable to losing out third overall to Cameron if he's not careful. Here we go, 4 laps to go now, lap 25. Ethan just pulling away a little bit. Not too much though, through the first sector into turn 2, then turn 3. Do have to be careful here. I have seen drivers lose the back end by just turning a bit too much. The back end can step out and you have a meet and greet with one of the tyre barriers lining the racetrack. Around turn 7, up to 3rd gear, 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear. Uses a bit of overtake as well. Gap is now 4/10. Opens DRS, he is gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining. This time he might go for it here. He has to look around the long way though. Ethan defends the inside line. They're side by side through 8 into turn 9. There's still sideways there for Ethan, but he catches it well through turn 10. DRS open again. But this time Honda has the inside line. He has his nose in front now. Into the braking zone into turn 11. Can he get it done? Oh, it seems like he can and does. No, they're still side by side. Ethan is not giving up.
Leaning on each other.
And then finally, Andrew in front now. He takes the lead of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with 3 and a bit laps to go. Can Ethan mount any sort of assault for the race lead with his deteriorating tyres? And there's Assassin, not too far behind now. Only 4/10 behind the racing point. But there we go, with 3 laps to go. It's now Andrew Honda who is our race leader. There we go, a nice little scrap there for the lead. Now Assassin wants a piece of the action. He's now right in behind the racing point of Ethan Lossing. Let's have a look. Into the braking zone at turn 5, then turn 6. Then into turn 7, he is very much quicker here. Gets on the power well, uses overtake, he'll use DRS as well. Ethan has it too. So the McLaren can't really mount any sort of assault right now. Ethan gains a little bit on Honda as well. The gap reduces to under 6/10 of a second. Heading towards turn 11. The gap shrinks again between Andrew and Ethan. Not by enough though for him to attack. Now through the technical third sector. This is the sector where time is gained or lost. If you make a mistake through here, it can be incredibly costly. You see that massive amount of rubber at the apex just before turn 17. Drivers locking up into the corner, laying down skid marks. Around turn 20, running wide, that will be a warning. That's how brutal the game is. Now we've got 2 laps to go. Lap 27 and 28.
Andrew has grabbed that second gap, so out of DRS range for now. We'll have to wait till we get to the detection point. But yeah, this is the point I think where the softs are going to really start to struggle.
He's within. Yep, he is
He
within.
snuck himself in.
So he's able to defend from the McLaren on this lap. Or at least down this straight. There is a second DRS detection zone just after turn 9 that Ethan will have to worry about. But he's gained a fair amount of time down the long back straightaway through turn 8 into turn 9. And Ethan should be within a second, and is, as Marino gets a 3-second time penalty. So here we go into turn 11 again. Then into turn 12, the right-hander, 13, the left-hander. Turn 14. Deary me, I'm losing my voice. Deary me. This is what happens when you do commentary a lot. You start to lose your voice. Through turn 18, then turn 19. Assassin very much right in behind Ethan now. The gap between him and the race leader, Andrew Honda, now 1.1 seconds. So it's looking as if Andrew Honda will win this thing, as we are now on the final lap here at Yas Marina. Through turn 1 and into turn 2, the gap increases now to 1.5 seconds. Assassin is now in a very good place to attack. Both drivers very low on ERS. They have spent absolutely everything to try and keep each other at bay. Round turn 7, third gear, hardly accelerator out. Assassin, he'll open DRS, he'll launch an assault on the racing point. Here we go, towards the heavy braking zone of turn number 8. He looks around the long way. That's a horrible camera shot, Codemasters. God damn it. Down the inside, and there's an incident at the final corner. Assassin can't get the job done. Down the long second, DRS straight towards the turn 11. And Assassin can't get the job done there either. Though penalties will ultimately see him finish potentially in 4th place, as the gap between Cameron and Assassin is now under 3 seconds. So Ethan is doing Cameron a massive favour here. Sideways for the McLaren at turn 17. Deary me, and that's his assault on 2nd place over. But here comes Andrew Honda. A superb season, and it's wrapped up in style. He wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here at Yas Marina. Ethan Lossing will finish in 2nd place. Assassin might finish in 4th here, and does, by 31 thousandths of a second. Cameron snags 3rd. Iceman finishes in 5th. But 3rd place in the adjusted results will go to this man. Only just though 1.2 seconds separating him and Dustin, who is in 4th place. But there we go. Matthew Elliott on the podium. A fine drive from him. After what happened at the beginning of the race, be quite happy with that result. There we go.
I mean, really good comeback for him. The safety cars obviously did aid, help him get back through there, but stayed composed. Another race on the podium, another race where he didn't get any penalties, so he seemed to have found the formula to success.
We'll just be waiting on the other drivers. Marino will be finishing inside the top 10 in the overall results. It's actually a pretty credible drive from the Alfa Romeo. Kept it clean and didn't crash. That's a really important thing. He finishes inside the top 10.
That's going to be P5 for him after the adjustment, which I believe will be a career best. So props to him for the good drive. Sebi is going to be P6 after the adjustment. Sure, he's not super happy with that after a couple unfortunate incidents, but did we had to do to finish the race and pick up some points in the season.
There we go. Given driver of the day. There we go. Fair enough. We'll have to see how many positions he gained over the course of the race, but there we go. Season 6 done and dusted. And the man who has dominated this championship wins the final race of the season. Andrew Honda, another fine drive, and he stands once again on the top step of the podium. Ethan Lossing, a fine effort. Probably got a bit screwed over from the soft tyre, really. Those medium compound tyres definitely seem to be a very, very good race tyre around here. And Cameron in 3rd. With the adjusted standings, he's in 2nd place. Possession in 4th, Iceman in 5th. Matthew Elliott in 3rd place, adjusted, 6th place overall. Dustin Howe in 4th, 7th place overall. Highway in 8th. Marino in 5th. Starting from 17th on the grid, making up 8 positions. A fine drive from him. Sebi in 6th place, 10th place overall. Black Raiders in 7th. He's a full-time driver for Mercedes, is he not? Pretty sure he is.
He is.
So he'll score points. Not a bad drive from him also, from 16th, finishing in 11th overall. Not bad. I'll give it that. It's not bad. But it was more so because of the incidents that provided the action rather than actual proper racing. But
yeah,
not bad.
And you kind of alluded to that. We did get the safety cars to aid in some excitement, and we saw an actual race for the lead tonight, which we didn't see a lot all season in the Sunday night group, but it was nice to see. Looking forward to next season. A lot of these guys are already registered and ready to go for another season, so yeah. little short break. We get to have a little bit of fun for the next couple of weeks. Not worry about league racing, but we did get just Maddie and Cam invites. I think Honda's already made his way offline, so we'll wait and see if they join us for interviews.
Oh, okay, so they haven't joined us. Because I noticed recently with PSN, sometimes it doesn't show the notification that they've joined. So, yeah. But, no, it's been a pretty good season, I will say. Having attended every race, I believe we've both attended every single race this season.
Yeah, we started all the way from Australia and watching some almighty crashes the first couple weeks.
Oh, dear Jesus.
All the way through.
I still can't get over that crash
through all
from Australia.
22 weeks of this. Yeah. Yeah, so Matt's just joined us.
I noticed that, so the notifications are working. Thank goodness for that.
Alright, love to see it. Thank you, Sony.
About time, really. But we'll start off some post-race interviews then with Matthew Elliott. Matthew, well done with your third place finish with the adjusted standing. 6 overall, which is a pretty good finish as well, considering what happened to you on the first lap. You want to take us through what happened throughout your Abu Dhabi Grand Prix?
Pretty decent qualifying. Don't really like the track like most other people, but the race, lap 1, turn 1, pretty shitty, but I just did what I could.
What happened? I saw a glimpse of it, but I didn't see it in full.
I don't know if Red Bull was off track. I didn't even see the Red Bull until it cut across my wing and put me in the wall. But I wasn't too thrilled about that. I'll have to go back and look at my footage to see if... I know I was close to Iceman, but I let everything clear up pretty good there, I thought, so... Just don't know where the Red Bull came from. I don't know.
And the rest of your race, after that incident, what was your sort of mindset after that point? Just basically pray for a safety car at that sort of stage?
Yeah, and just push as hard as I could. The multiple safety cars and some slower traffic. I got in one, I think, highway in the second chicane, or third chicane, if you want to call it that. You got a little loose, and I didn't have time to check up, and got on the back of him, got more wing damage. So it was just a miracle I finished as high as I did, in all honesty.
Sounds like an exhausting race from your end.
Not really, it's just more disappointing. Felt like I was decent enough to finish in the actual top 5, but the way she goes sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You'd like to think you can pan out with the perfect weekend, but sometimes, even at the first corner, it all goes bottoms up for you. But no, you recovered well in saying that. Made those soft tyres work at the end of the race as well, which we noticed from the combox that they didn't offer too much of a pace advantage compared to the mediums at the end of the race. What was your view on it?
I shouldn't have done... well, it was the only thing I could have done, but...
Yeah.
In my situation, I decided to just take them to the end, and towards the end I almost lost it coming out of the first chicane, and, well, second chicane in Sector 2 or whatever. It's hard to get it, because you can count the first chicane and second chicane and third chicane. I'd say second chicane, I almost lost it and kept it out of the wall. And that's why I knew the grip was gone. Couldn't get on it anymore, so started losing time, and I lost quite a bit of time on the last lap because I just had no more traction. So I think I had a 3-second lead going into the last lap that turned into like a 1 point something. So Those softs were just pretty much dead. Another lap, I probably would have got a puncture, I think.
But Michael, anything to
Uh, yeah, I mean, another race you've added to your podium streak. Looking ahead to next season, what are the overall expectations? Are you just looking to keep this trend going of just a consistent good finishes every week, or are you looking for more, maybe grabbing a couple of wins with the dominant force of this season going to be moving to Mondays?
It'd be nice to get a couple wins here and there, but I honestly don't see it happening. Especially if Ethan keeps up this pace. I know he wants to participate next season, so it'll just be another Honda on Sundays, thinking.
No.
We'll see. Maybe he might have some poor tracks and might be able to capitalize, and Stu as well, and Cam. So.
Oh, he might be able to crash a few more times like what he did tonight. Crashed out at turn 9. Very awkward crash. I don't know if he was helped, but yeah. He was looking like he was going to get 3rd place with the adjusted results. After starting from last, and he made a mistake, so he's not bulletproof, so...
Yeah, I've noticed that. He's had a couple DNFs here lately, so... But if he's able to string it together like he did most of the season, it's going to be pretty tough for me.
But no.
I just want to beat Stu next season, pretty much. Anything else is a bonus.
Fair enough. But no, this was a good recovery drive from you. I mean, yeah, you had a fair bit of luck, but you still needed to make it work, and you did. A fine 6th place finish and 3rd with the adjusted standing, so very, very well done, mate. A fine drive.
Thank you.
But, I just noticed that 2nd place has joined us. Cameron, that was a very, very good drive from you. Kept up with the leaders pretty much all the way through. Again, helped probably with the safety cars, but still, you weren't too far behind the top 3. And of course, with Passassin getting a 3 seconds more than what you did, you snagged 3rd place from him. So a very, very fine drive. Just take us through your Abu Dhabi weekend.
That was good. Yeah. Yeah, like you said, yeah, I was barely hanging on, you know, able to keep up with the leaders almost. You know, I was kind of, I don't know, kind of struggle maintaining, I don't know, finding the optimal, not optimal traction zone, but like the optimal traction going through the final sector. I don't know, as tires wear off, I just really struggled to kind of find that zone in which I'm like comfortable. But yeah, only got a 3-second penalty. Typically around here. So I was happy with, you know, only a 3-second. I was super lucky with Assassin getting a 6-second, and then somehow jumping him with that penalty by a 32nd of a second, you know, 0.03 or 0.032 at least. I think whatever was. Yeah, qualifying was terrible. Sorry to jump ahead and then backtrack, but yeah, qualifying was just absolutely terrible. I could have gotten at least, you know, an extra 6/10 faster. Because I just kept invalidating in really ridiculous areas that I've never invalidated in before. Yeah, preaching the choir on that one, but yeah, was able to kind of make up some positions. Hard as out to Bloomberg to even. Oh my God, that turn 1, I was right behind that, and oh my God, that. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I'm really sorry about that. I have a really, probably like a perfect perspective of that if you need it. But yeah, to come back, to call your way back from that was amazing. I thought you were done. Like, I thought that race was over for you, but yeah, happy to see that. And yeah, basically kind of like had a Delta battle with Assassin and Iceman pretty much the whole way with like, I don't know, 3,800 safety cars, something like that. Full virtuals at least, and then a couple, regulars. That was, yeah, it was like half safety cars and half racing. But honestly, that was probably more of a challenge than just than just stringing lap after lap after lap to have to manage that delta every single time. I think is the hardest to not get that drive-through. So if anything, that was more of a challenge actually. But I ended up not getting the drive-through. I think I saw one other driver get one. There was probably more, but yeah, lucky to not fall victim to that one. And yeah, came home with a P3. It was pretty happy about that.
No, it was a very, very good drive from you. You happy with how the race went in regards to what happened with your qualifying? No real mistakes?
Yeah, I think that was the best. I think that was the best thing I could have hoped for. I didn't know the raw pace that Assassin had, as well as Iceman was putting some pressure on from behind. I didn't actually realize until he was coming within like 1.2 seconds, almost in DRS range, and that was when I was really like, okay, you know, I had that moment where I was like, okay, I need to push like harder to, because if he gets in DRS, like I think he could have posed a real challenge, even though he had like 3 or 6 seconds on the penalty count, but. You know, not to fall victim to any racing incidents that can occur due to battling in that situation. I was happy to keep up with the top 3, and then as far as my performance, I didn't make any unnecessary mistakes as far as spinning out or hitting a wall or hitting other drivers. So yeah, I can't complain.
Michael, anything to add?
No, just another really solid race for you. You kind of touched on it. Kind of a poor qualifying that was uncharacteristic of you, and just did what you needed to do in the race. And yeah, I hope you, along with everybody else, enjoys the couple of weeks off, and hope you're ready for another season of US Regionals.
Oh man, I want to be stoked for it, but like everyone's leaving the Sunday night. Like everyone's going to the Monday night. Or at least
yeah, I mean, you're losing Honda, but you're getting Ethan, so.
Okay. So Kloonberg, are you staying? Like who's? I feel
like I'm staying.
Or at least everyone I know. Okay, you're staying. Okay. Cool. So yeah.
So Ethan will be dropping to the Sunday tier, not competing in Mondays.
So he is a full-time reserve right now. He's gonna go full-time on Sunday, so he'll be racing for points next season.
So at least we've got a fair few drivers to keep our eye on for next season then. Some very high caliber drivers in the Sunday tier, so it should be fairly interesting to watch, I imagine. But no, Cameron, a fine drive from you, mate. A fine effort indeed to come back from what happened in qualifying. Don't worry, it's a track where it's so incredibly easy to get warnings. There are so many places where you can do it, particularly in qualifying. And you just keep invalidating. You can't really string your best lap together because you're being too cautious to not get another warning, so then you don't start right from the back. But no, you recovered from that and you finished on the podium. So a fine drive from you, and a fine way to end the season as well from your point of view. So well done. But I don't think Honda will be joining us. I haven't seen a name pop up, so that's okay. I think that might wrap it up for us, Michael. An entire season. How about that? 22 of these things we've done. Holy
22
moly.
Really eventful, interesting races with
Except
this group of guys.
for Singapore.
Except for Singapore.
Except for when, well, granted, there was one really big moment, and that was when Cam broke his brakes. That was a different moment. But yeah, we've had some moments.
That level of entertainment for Singapore.
Well, we've had some really big ones. We've had the big crash at Australia. We had the safety car restart at Bahrain. There were a couple of big crashes at Zandvoort, I remember. What else? I'm sure there are bits and bobs that I'm forgetting. And of course the dominance of Andrew Honda in this season. How many race wins would he have next to his name at the end of this 22 race championship?
Too many to count.
Right, that many. Okie doke. He's been that dominant across this entire championship, and now he's going into the Monday tier, where he's going up against you, Michael.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So you'll have to deal with
I'm
the
excited for it.
Mr. Domination. So, anyway, I think that just might wrap it up for us. Well, it's been an incredibly long journey, but finally Season 6 comes to an end, at least for the Sunday Championship. Thank you very much, Michael, for joining me across all of these races. We haven't missed one, so thank you very much for spending your time in the comp box, providing your level of expertise. It's very much it's very helpful.
It was a pleasure all season. I don't think there was a race that I didn't enjoy doing with you. Even the races that were a little bit stale or boring at times, I think we did our best to make interesting. So, yeah, really awesome season. Proud of all the guys who race on Sunday night. Everything we've done with this league over the course of the season. Got more and more people coming in every week, and it's really awesome to see. So, just a quick thank you to you, Lane, Stu, Maddie, and Sebi, the other committee members, doing everything we got to do to put this all together. And then lastly, all the drivers. It's been awesome all season. Got one more night of racing. I hope everybody enjoys tomorrow night. I'm going to be nervous wreck, so. But yeah, everybody watch 9 o'clock Eastern.
So, next season, when will that start, roughly?
So we are projected to start January 31st is the first Sunday, and then February 1st, the next day, will be our first Monday night. Okay. And then our European regionals will be that Tuesday and Wednesday, and then nationals will start that Saturday. So okay. We'll be taking 2 or 3 weeks off to reset, get everything together, and then we'll be back up and running again.
Alright, so we get a few weeks break, then we get up and running again pretty much towards the end of January or the beginning of February, depending on where you live. But, okay. I think that will just about wrap it up. Thank you everyone so much for watching. It's been an incredibly long season, but finally we made it right to the end. And for the final time in Season 6, I've been the Smeg, or Lane Everingham, my co-commentator, Top Gun 88, and Michael Garone Jr. And we'll see you all for Season 7, when that will start on the February 1st or January 31st, again, depending where you live. And until then, good night.